Come with us on a journey into the unknown, the unexplained, and the unbelievable. We will test your senses and challenge your beliefs. A world where science and religion clash. Or do they? You will meet real people and hear real stories, but you will not believe. You will witness strange sights and hear strange sounds, but you will not believe. This is the New England Ghost Project. Welcome to the nightmare.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Patriots Monday right here on the net.
That's right.
Yes, I always like to say the Patriot Massacre.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
It was 54 points. Was it 54? 50-something.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, good morning. I am Ron Kolick, your host. Keep it around with the unknown, unexplained, and unbelievable. With me, my co-host, the Professor Lou Blase.
Morning, everyone.
Hey, so...
Say happy birthday to Leslie.
Yeah, I always forget her birthday.
Yeah.
I do.
It's today.
Yeah, I know. I sent her a thing. I put pictures on or something. I don't know.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, pictures out there. Anyway. So, anyways, it is the anniversary. Is it today? Yeah, I think it's the anniversary of the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, did you know that?
No.
What do you know about the Statue of Liberty?
Came from France.
Yeah.
Disassembled. They assembled it here, right?
Yeah.
That's about it. There's a replica in
There's a ton of replicas.
in Paris. There's a sister.
There's a bunch of them in Paris. There's 5 Statue of Liberty replicas in Paris. I should have got the name. You know, I
only know that from National Treasure, by the way.
The comics did a nice little thing on it, and I meant to cut it up and bring it in, and I forgot. And
The comics?
yeah, you know, the regular Sunday comics.
Oh.
If you read the newspaper, which probably only 6 people in the world do, besides myself. But yeah, the comics, they always have this little kids section, and yeah, it's always good. I get some great information from it, and it's.
I should have suspected because someone came out recently with a new documentary on the Statue of Liberty.
Did they really?
Yeah, it just like last week it came out and they were promoting it, and I forget where now. So, but
It was originally modeled after an Egyptian woman.
really,
Yep. It was, let's see, many historians say the Statue of Liberty was modeled after Librias, the Roman goddess of freedom. However,
fair enough.
sculptor Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, who's the guy that actually did it, was first inspired by colossal figures guarding Nubian tomb.
Okay.
He developed a long life passion for large-scale public monuments.
Large scale women? Is that?
Yeah. Actually, and that's one of the things in here. Anyways, Bartholomew designed a monumental statue of a Rome-clad woman representing Egypt to stand at Port Said, in the northern end of the canal. The prototype of the statue, the Egyptian carrying the light of Asia, is actually the prototype of the Statue of Liberty. If you see it, you can actually, it does look like it. But anyways, and she's skinny too, by the way.
Which one? Which one is this model?
It was, it's in Egypt. It's at the Port Said. It's called Egypt Carrying the Light of to Asia. And if you look at it, it's almost identical. And
To look at it. I'm working on it.
Okay.
I got a side by side here.
Okay, there you go. Oh, you have a side by side? You can throw it up if you want.
I'm trying.
So, yeah. The Statue of Liberty was covered with a thin layer of copper that was very thin, about the depth of 2 pennies pressed together. She was assembled on Bedloe Island, and she was a beautiful brown color. Oh, yeah, because it was copper, right?
Right.
And stayed that way for about 35 years. In 1920, the copper skin began to oxide and turned to a lovely sea green. It towers 879 feet atop of her pedestal. And Lady Liberty has a 35-foot waistline. I don't know.
Okay.
She stands 305 feet tall and wears a size 879 shoe
All right.
and a triple XDD bra. I guess. I don't know. Why would they even do that? I don't know. Anyway.
What's going on there?
The statue's pedestal was financed by early crowdfunding efforts. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It looks like it, don't it?
It does.
Yeah. Do you know I have a piece of the Statue of Liberty?
An actual piece?
Actual piece.
Do you?
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I forget. I'm trying to figure out what year. I can't remember. But they replaced the copper because the copper is very thin. They didn't want to. So the old copper they took and they minted it into coins.
Oh, makes a great idea.
Yeah. And I got one of those coins, which is a piece of the Statue of Liberty.
Very nice.
Copper of the Statue of Liberty. There's a whole bunch of them. There's one that. Oh, there's one in Newcastle.
A piece of the Statue of Liberty?
No, a replica.
Oh,
Absolutely replica of the Statue of Liberty in the U.S. You know where Newcastle is, right?
Yeah.
That's where the lighthouse is, Portsmouth Harbor Lighthouse.
Yes.
But Newcastle is actually an island. Did you know that?
No.
You drive to it, but it's actually an island. The only way you can get on it is go over bridges.
Yep.
I never knew that.
Fair enough.
I never knew it for the longest time until I did.
Well, it's all around here. It's, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
With islands and stuff.
It's expensive as hell, that place.
Oh, yeah.
So do you know why the French gave it to us?
No, why?
It was intended to celebrate the abolition of slavery in the U.S. I don't know why the French would be interested in that, but they are. I have no clue. In the 1870s, French abolitionist Edouard de La Boulaye
Yes.
joined forces with sculptor Frédéric Battahoni and renowned engineer Gustave Eiffel. Sounds familiar?
Yes.
Eiffel?
Knows a thing or two about towers, tall things.
Yeah. To dream up a monument for a gift to the United States. The statue would be a symbol of friendship between the two nations and a celebration of the end of slavery. Dubois quietly hoped that such a gift would inspire his own people to fight for their liberty. Napoleon III had recently brought an end to the Second Republic, remaining in the power of his emperor's France.
Here's the, thought I had it here. Here's the Newcastle.
See?
Yep.
You do good. That's why they call you the professor. I've never seen that.
Yeah, the French kind of saddled us with give us your tired, your huddled masses.
Which, by the way, we turned around and used for not slavery as a celebration. Slavery, but a celebration of immigration's country. It actually faces the harbor. When you come in, she's facing you. God, she's a beauty. Do you know she also sways in the wind?
No, does she?
Yep, like many politicians.
There you go.
Yep, the Gustave Eiffel, famed for his certain iron tower, bears his name. Yeah, we know that. Created a statue's unique exoskeleton. The iron structure at the core was the height of innovation at the time, capable of shifting in the wind without cracking or bending. Sort of like the Patriots defense.
Yeah, okay.
Lady Liberty can sway up to 3 inches in any direction during heavy winds, which it does, by the way. Her torch, she has a torch.
The torch.
Her torch can sway up to 5 inches. She is also a magnet for, guess what?
Lightning.
You got it.
I would imagine.
600 bolts of lightning hit her every year.
Wow.
Can't we do something with that? Like a Tesla thing.
Oh, they should build something in to distribute it. So the bolts come out of her hand.
Ooh,
probably hits her in the hand. Or come out her eyes or something.
Yeah, like she could strike down certain politicians she don't like. Or anybody, actually. Jane Fight. Oh, yeah, it's got a picture of one of these things striking her. Holy moly.
Got that's a picture of them assembling it, I guess, or part of it or something. I don't know what that is.
Wait a minute. Check this out. She was nearly a speaking statue.
Get out.
Thomas Edison, I've heard of him before, even though nobody likes him because they love Tesla. The inventor of the light bulb, I almost said phonograph, but it's phonograph, proposed at one point that a giant gramophone be installed inside the Statue of Liberty to enable her to speak. Ultimately, his idea was rejected.
That's a smart move, yeah.
I don't think so. It'd be kind of cool.
How tall is she?
873 feet or
Okay,
something.
we don't need a 900-foot woman talking to us all the time.
Doesn't matter. She's on the move. Although the Statue of Liberty is, although she is a statue, Lady Liberty is not standing still. Her right leg is the mid-strike, and wait a minute. Her right leg is in mid-stride, and her right foot is actually leaving the ground.
Oh.
She's moving forward, moving forward, the horizon, forever leading the way and lighting the path to freedom and liberty in the American way.
I'm a pretty patriotic guy, but I'm just not as enamored with the Statue of Liberty as most. I don't know why.
Makes a great commercial.
There you go.
But anyway. All right, so there it is, Statue of Liberty. I had to honor her because it was her birthday. We do that stuff.
Which birthday again?
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't ask me. It's a birthday. If I had cut out the little thing from the comics, I would have had all this information. It would have been a lot easier, but no.
Well, let me see if I can find out.
You really want to find out?
If we're going to cite an anniversary.
All right. Please do follow up.
Dedicated on October 28th, 1886.
There you go. So that's some kind of investment.
135.
135. Doesn't look good, does it? It looks pretty good.
Yep.
They had to close the thing down one time.
The arm.
Yeah.
Well, the arm's still closed, isn't it? You can't go up.
I believe they opened it, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Because it has all the windows up the top and the torch. Oh, and the torch. Yeah, and the torch you can go up.
Yeah. Okay. We can now still?
I don't know if you can now.
I thought it was closed.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on bringing that up. So, this next week is it this week? When is Halloween? Sunday, right?
Halloween is Sunday, yes.
Yeah, Sunday. So Halloween is Sunday. And if, it's Halloween, you go into any of the papers, magazines, radios, TV, it's stories about the paranormal.
Yes.
Which evidently only occurs during Halloween.
That's when it has our attention, Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that scientifically they prove that that's when the veil is the thinnest between the living and the dead.
Yeah. He's the same vaccine scientist we're dealing with.
That's what kills me. And by the way, I saw you on Dr. Kim's show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and which was good. If you haven't seen Dr. Kim's show, what's the name of the show?
Your Daily Game Face.
She's very good, and Lou, both of you are, by the way.
Thank
you. You're the yingy yangy. But it was hauntingly fascinating.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
and it'll be even more fascinating this Wednesday morning when you show up on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Kim last week on this show.
Because I have a few bones to pick with you too.
That's it. It's fine. Mm-hmm. Expect nothing less.
Yeah, you're not gonna like it.
I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah,
you're gonna go after me.
I am. Got my sights on you.
Jan says the Statue of Liberty is quite impressive up close.
Really?
I'll bet she is.
Who, Jan, or the Statue of Liberty?
Huh? No, Jan Schmidt.
Hey, Jan, how are you?
Yeah.
By the way, next, I got the good thing. Jan, thank you, Jan. That reminds me. Next Tuesday, the Dining the Dead returns at the Wyndham Restaurant.
I saw.
Yes, which has been, I can't remember since COVID. So COVID's been like,
a while,
almost 2 years, right?
Yep.
Wow. So, yeah, it's finally returning. And I'm going to take a look at some of the strange hauntings,
Do you get a meal as part of it?
Yeah.
Is it a menu for the event or?
It's a menu. Yeah, it's an event menu. You when you buy your ticket, you take your. I think you have 5 choices.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, I know there's baked haddock, there's cordon bleu, eggplant palm, stuffed shells and meatballs.
It's okay. Details on.
My brain's. Anyways, if you go on a website and when you buy your ticket, and you have to buy them in advance, by the way.
The Wyndham restaurant, not surprisingly, in Wyndham, one of the more
Wyndham.
haunted. A lot of
which I've investigated
stories.
so many times. And if you've a member of our Ghost Chronicles Radio on Patreon, you've seen some of the stuff that's been done there. So yeah.
And
so anyways,
one of the ghosts likes blondes, right? So if you're a blonde,
that's back in the it's interesting because I've investigated that place for the longest period of time, which is great. Anytime you can investigate a place for a long period of time, and yet it's not a paranormal hotspot. In other words, everybody and their mother's not investigating it.
right?
It makes it a little bit more pure in your investigation because you don't have as much contamination.
Right. Yeah.
Because I really believe that the more a place is investigated, the more it's contaminated.
Makes sense.
And I've seen that with the Houghton Mansion because we were the first to do it. And I've seen it been many, many times back there. And I saw how it's changed through the years. And it's people bring their own energy, their own whatever with them. And, I don't know. There's a lot of theories. Go
What are
ahead.
your thoughts on the Christmas present story?
That is cool, isn't it?
It's unique. It's unique. If for those who are unfamiliar, at one point, help went in and found some Christmas presents on display.
That's on my website if you want to grab the picture from it. I think you
On
can.
your website?
Yeah. If you go to indieghostproject.com, it's on the photo. Might be on the, oh God, I can't remember now. I think it's in there.
Because this is one of these haunting places where it's been a restaurant for a long time, and the help reports a lot of these. It's not all ancient history.
No, it's ongoing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, I investigated before it was the Wyndham, when it was the Riviera, which was a French restaurant. And Jean Paul was the owner at that time. And that was my first investigation back then. And that's one of the things that would happen there is some of the blonde waitresses would have their hair tugged and their jewelry undone. And it was so interesting because I was actually interviewing a blonde waitress, and all of a sudden, right in front of me, her necklace just fell off on the floor.
Oh my God.
And when I picked it up, it was still clasped. So it was like the weirdest thing.
It was still clasped.
Still clasped.
Wow.
That's strange.
So where do I find this picture?
I don't know. I got to go on that site.
It's all right. Don't worry. I'll run it down.
It might be in with photos. I'm not sure. But,
I'll run it down.
Well, you're really.
Don't worry about it. You do the show.
Okay, if I have to. But I mean, that's a cool thing because I've, like I said, I've investigated all the time, and I get tons of reports. First of all, I get reports from the servers. Then I get reports from patrons, not to be confused with Patreons, people who are members of our Dead Air Society.
Yes.
But yeah, they, people will call me and they'll just say, I read your article. I saw a news thing on you because I've done a lot of the news stuff. Channel 7, Channel 4, Channel the Galloping Gourmet, a whole bunch of other ones have been there, and they say, "Oh, I saw that there," and I want to tell you my experience. There was one cool one. There was a guy that used to work there, and this was a few years back, and he called in. He says, "Yeah, I was in there, and the setup was a little different then." And there it is.
Yeah.
Workers
went in and found
the
presents like this.
Yeah. They actually, these are empty boxes.
Yes.
And they were used for decorations. So they used to store them in those rooms. This is on the 3rd floor. And sometimes they'd come in and they would be stacked in towers in the rooms. Now they weren't in the hallway. They were in one of the side rooms.
Right.
And then one time they came in, and this was it. And I don't know if you can see it, but you see where the banister is. That's actually a stairway.
Yep.
So it would be really difficult to do that.
Yeah, you have to
one
assume,
person, I don't know, two people, I don't know, maybe, but it's difficult.
you have
And
to assume at some point the staff's messing around with the staff.
yeah, that's
You know?
what I would thought.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I thought the staff was doing this, but it's strange. It's, it's really difficult to catch.
All right. So when's Dining with the Dead? And
It's on the Day of the Dead, November 2nd.
okay, excellent.
Yep. And you got to get tickets in advance because, you have to order your meal at the same time. It comes with the prices, includes the presentation, includes your meal, everything but your drinks. And so you can go to anyghostproject.com and you can purchase your tickets there. So anyways, I was talking about this guy. So he used to work there. So he was in one of the rooms vacuum and he looked over towards the hall and he saw a little boy run across the door. And it was like an older period because he had like knickers on.
Oh, okay.
And the weird thing about it was in black and white.
The kid was in black and white.
And only from the waist down.
Interesting.
So, I mean, it's like, okay, and there's so many different reports of things that have happened here. They used to go in and they would find, there you go. They would find, oh, there's a menu and everything. Look at you.
Yeah. Baked haddock, chicken cordon bleu, chicken palm, stuffed shells with meatballs, and vegetarian eggplant parmesan.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they used to have steak tips, but they had to take it off the menu, unfortunately, because of the price of everything nowadays is ridiculous.
Baked haddock would be fun.
Yeah, all these are good. I've had them, just about every one of them.
Well, that goes back to what we talked about on the show, Dr. Kim and I, and I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
On Wednesday when
Dr.
you appear on
Kim.
her show.
Yeah, Dr. Kim.
You get me calling her Dr. Kim now. I'm guessing a lot of this reception is the person. In other words, maybe the spirit wasn't walking around just the bottom and in black and white. Maybe that's just the way the person received the energy.
Maybe the tooth fairy is alive too. Who knows? Yeah, I got some things to pick on you.
Yeah, I'll bet you do.
Anyways, so there's a lot of different reports from going on there. Not just visual things. They've heard children running upstairs when no one's upstairs. Just recently, which was probably a few months ago, they on the third floor window was on the window was written "Get out."
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which was from the outside, but this is up on the third floor.
It was written on the outside.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, whatever. And like I said, it's third floor, Howard.
Was it written so that the people inside could read it? In other words, was it written in reverse?
Oh, now you would ask me.
If you write it on the outside, it'd be reversed to the people inside.
Yeah, it was. You're right. It was. No, it was straight.
The people inside could read it.
People side could read it.
So whoever wrote it on the outside wrote it in reverse.
Reverse on top of it.
Yeah.
Weird shit.
Yep.
And, they would come in sometimes, and this all goes back to it. They would come in sometimes in the windows on the second floor, or the chairs would all be turned towards the windows as if they were watching a parade or something. They would all be turned around looking out the window. They had other ones, the silverware. They would set the silverware up for the next day, and they would come in, and the forks and the knives would all be crossed.
Crossed.
Yeah. So, I mean, weird stuff going on. Some physical movement. There's a closet which is in the hallway, and depending on the season, okay, it would be extremely difficult to open.
Okay,
because expansion, you know. Yeah. Okay. And it's during that time they would come by and the door would open.
Just pop
open.
Yeah.
And I actually have that on film.
Really?
I had set up a camera, and we did it, and you can see it. It's like the camera's looking down the I think it was a hall then. Yeah, it was. And the door just opens, right? Now, there's people
Doesn't pop open; it just kind of eases out.
eases open.
Yeah.
So my son, who was he was going into the room, to this room, so he was crossing the hall this way, and he went by once, and when he went in there, then the door opened, and he came back, and you can see him on the film. He takes it and he looks at the thing, and he closes it, right, and then he pulls on it, and it's difficult to open, and then he jumps around and walks back on the thing, and he's trying to get it to open, and it doesn't open. So I mean, it's one of those little, who knows?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so many different things there that have happened there. It's
so much. You're right, though. So much physical. There's all stories about physical things happening.
Oh yeah. And of course, there's the Maureen Factor, which is another story for another time.
Maureen's going to be there.
No, she was.
Oh,
we've investigated many times.
I'll bet.
And had some. Actually, I think it's in the first book, Ghost Chronicles. If you are interested, you can actually hear not hear, but you can read the story of our first investigation. Is it one of our first investigations there? But yeah, it was good.
Excellent.
And
the food will be good too.
Yeah. That was one of the first times that I started working with Maureen, and that's when I realized that she did have some kind of ability. Because at that time, my group, I had Bob and Leslie, who were Bob and Gay, who were husband and wife, and they were members of my team at that time. And she was there, and there was a lot of stuff going on. But anyways, this incident I'm talking about, and she says, "Well, the spirit wants to talk to Leslie. Is there a Leslie here?" And what I didn't even know was that Gay's name is Leslie. And that's her middle name. She took her middle name rather than her second name. So yeah, it's like, that came out of nowhere.
That's the kind of stuff I love. When information comes out that you had no way of knowing.
And I didn't even know that. Like I said, it was kind of weird. So it was like, wow. I don't know.
So Maureen didn't have it. She
just came up. Yeah, she had just been with the group. She just started. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. All right. So as we started this conversation, with Halloween being, getting all the stories and everything else, there's a lot of theories why supposedly there's activity. Now these are
scientists say the veil is the thinnest.
Yeah, this is really irks me because there are theories out there. No, they're just theories. There's no proof whatsoever. But yet people just grab them and sprout them like they're actual facts or something.
Sure.
And so that's the fact that the veil is the thinnest between the realms of the living and the dead. The other fact is that, okay, why is there so much activity? And then they say, well, because it's Halloween, we decorate and everything else, so we make it spooky, so we're more attuned. It makes us more attuned.
We're tuned in.
Yeah. So then another theory is that it's darker because the autumnal equinox or whatever is coming and whatever. So the darkness, it creates a more subtle environment for us to be able to connect. And then of course there's the moon factor, where the moon is usually have your full moon in around Halloween, and that provides energy for the spirits. And then of course all these people that are out there doing Halloween stuff provides more energy for the spirits. And so these are all facts, by the way, that why it's just...
They're not facts, but clearly they're not facts. But let's play with it a little bit. When you guys do...
I know you're going to jump on this.
When you guys do a seance or something, we talk about it all the time. It's kind of like a light post, right? All that activity tends to attract spirit, doesn't it? When there's a connection in between.
I guess.
Yeah. Well,
it's believed.
You do it for a living. So, yeah. So if we're all thinking of ghosts, if we're all talking about hauntings,
the question is, and this is the thing I struggle with, because everybody thinks like, oh, okay, I believe this, I believe that, and I don't. I struggle with a lot of ideas, and yes, in our seances we connect with certain we get certain information, we see certain things, we have certain experiences. But I mean,
Do you believe your seances attract spirit?
well, that's the theory behind it, and this is why I do them, is because I'm trying to understand them, how they work, and if they work, and why they work. And those are the important questions. You know, we just, it's easy just because we get information, it's easy just to say, to jump to that saying, okay, the ghosts are here and we're connecting with them. But why are we connecting them? If we are connecting with them, or what are we connecting with? You know, it's a whole battery of things that you have to weigh in, and it's not black and white. It's not, it's, you can document your experiences, but you can't prove anything that we're sitting there connecting and talking to ghosts.
All right, so there's that theory that it attracts spirit because of the energy put out.
Yes, I mean,
there's the other more practical.
Well, let me go back. I want to touch that because I kind of went on a rant on that. Is that, you know, a lot of times we do investigations and we make contact with spirits that have nothing to do with the place, nothing to do with the people there, but they're what I call street ghosts, and those are just spirits that are interested in seeing what we're doing, or they realize someone's trying to connect with the other side and they want to be heard. So those are some of the theories about it. So
yes, that's some of the attraction.
Right.
The other way you could look at it is we are right now, as we sit in this room, we're bombarded by television and radio and cell phone signals.
Oh God, we are, yeah.
Right. And
EMF, ultrasound,
but we're not aware of them until we tune in, and we use it with devices. But with the paranormal, it would be the mind where you tune in. So the other theory would be that this stuff is just all there, out there, everywhere, and it's just a matter of whether you're picking it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, you know, I always bring the story, like you come into a room and you bring too many mediums into a room, and one tells you, oh, there's a little boy playing ball in the corner there. And the other one says, I see a woman in a rocking chair knitting. So which one is right? It's not necessarily right or wrong. It's what they're picking up. And it's very possible that if you believe in frequencies, that they're tuning in to that particular frequency of that particular spirit.
Yeah.
So we all know that we as human beings can connect with other people easily sometimes. And for instance, if you're married a long time, you can connect pretty much with your wife.
Yeah.
If you're a mother and you have a child, a lot of times you connect with that child, even though they're not present. You still connect. You know when something's wrong or whatever. We don't know what that relationship is, but we know that it occurs. So that's the difficult part about the whole paranormal. It's not a black and white thing, and most people like to put it in.
But if either of those are true, Halloween would still fit the bill where our antenna would be up, whether we're attracting it or whether it's always there and we're just tuning into it more because we're just thinking about it more.
But there's no proof that
there's no proof of anything.
No. There's no proof that the veil is the thinnest. There's no report of more ghosts during Halloween than any other time of the year.
Oh yeah, no, I don't believe that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, if you go by those theories, they're flawed already. So,
but when you do a seance, or when you do a ghost experience, or you go out to do a hunt, you try to put yourself in a position where you're mentally open to it.
Yes, you have to be open.
And I think Halloween kind of makes people more open to it because you're just thinking about it more. It's a bigger part of your.
But there's a difference between being open to something and anticipating something, or expecting something, or wanting something to happen.
Right. Yeah.
So if you are open to something, it means your mind is open. It's available. If you're expecting something, you are actually trying to tune into something, or even creating something in your own mind that may or may not be there. So that's the difficulty.
I think that happens a lot.
Yeah. Now, I mean, if you want to take a look at that on the most simplest form, you look at dowsing. Mm-hmm. Now, dowsing is extremely interesting. That's something I didn't believe in when I first started investigating, but I took some courses in and I did some study on it, and I realized that there has been a lot of success with dowsing. And The thing about it, though, is it's much more difficult to do than people think. Now let's talk about spirit dowsing rather than water dowsing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because water dowsing, scientists will say it's flawed. He says, oh, you find water. It's like there's water everywhere. You just have to,
It's kind of the same.
dig. It's going to be
the same question. Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways, so if you use dowsing to get information, the difficult thing is that the pendulum itself. Okay, I don't know if and scientists will tell you that if you hold a pendulum, you have I can never say the words atomical. I mean, you have minute nerve and muscle movement that actually moves the pendulum. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the scientific explanation. You are moving the pendulum.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I agree with that.
Yep.
Okay. But the thing is, okay, so say I'm not consciously, but subconsciously moving the pendulum. Okay. But where am I getting the information from? That's the part that intrigues me.
Yeah.
Is where is that information coming from? Now, if it's something, and this is the difficult thing, if you're using dowsing to get something, get information, for instance, like you're a woman, you like a particular guy, and your mom hates him, okay, because he's a JD. For those who don't know, that means junior delinquent. And but you still like him. So you use the dowsing. You say, okay, should I go out? His name is Bob. Should I go out with Bob? Okay. Well, in your mind, you want to go out with Bob.
Right.
So more than likely, you're going to get the answer, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the hard part is you have to, we talked about open mind. That's exactly what you have to do in dowsing. You have to have your mind totally clear. And so it's not, you're not influenced. And I show you this. I mean, I douse, don't get me, I douse, and I find it intriguing because I want to know where this information is coming from. And a lot of information comes through in dowsing. But I can also stand there and say, okay, is Ron the most good-looking guy in the world? And I'll get a yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I know that and you won't see my hand move at all.
Right. You
You absolutely won't see my hand move. But my mind is influencing my movements, sub-movements, or whatever they are, and do it. So it's intriguing that you have to have an open mind to do it, but you have to be careful that you're not influencing. In other words, when you go into an investigation, you want to say, oh, I want to see if this place is haunted, and you're kind of getting what you want if you're not doing it properly. So
neutrality from your mind is very difficult to achieve.
It's difficult, extremely difficult to do. Absolutely. And that's the hard part. It's the same with any other device, for instance, the Ouija board.
Yep.
Okay. So you very well could be moving that Ouija board, but that does not unvalidate the information that you're getting. Okay. So, okay, you use the Ouija board and you get connected. Okay. Well, for instance, we'll talk about the one we did up in Biddeford Pool late one night. Just after investigation, we just took out the I forget what it's called, Spirit Circle or something. It's just basically a Ouija board, and we asked the spirit. We connected with the spirit. Supposedly, it was Leslie, myself, and a woman, one of the directors from Wood Island Lighthouse, and we ended up getting a whole bunch of information. A pirate was there. His name was Scud. He had gold that was buried in Biddeford Pool, and yada, yada, yada. And, we tried to get the location of it, which was a bunch of numbers coming through the gobble that we couldn't figure out what the hell it meant, but that didn't work out. But when we went back later on, Jim Stoney found out that there was a pirate named Scudmore. Not a short stretch. They call him Scud rather than Scudmore.
Scud, sure.
Yeah. And he was actually hung in Boston. So he was a doctor. And I found an article.
He was a pirate doctor?
Yeah, he was a doctor. Most pirates were just people who were captured. You know that, right?
No, I wasn't.
It wasn't like, they were like, a lot of pirates. Okay, I won't say, but I would say most of them actually.
So he was a doctor first and then he got captured?
He was a doctor. He was a doctor
pirate?
on a ship. He got captured. And when you get captured, you sometimes you have a choice. You become a pirate.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know, if you get the interesting thing about it, see how we go off in long gyrations. But the interesting thing about it is if you get caught, right, and you're a pirate, doesn't mean you're going to get hung. It's only if you sign the pact. You sign a pirate agreement, basically. So if you sign that agreement, you're a pirate, you're hung. If you don't sign the agreement, then you're okay. You may get prison or something.
Well, the pirates,
because they used to impress the people. So impress mean impress, you know, what we fought the War of 1812 for. The British used to impress our sailors and put them on British ships to work.
that was adamant about you signing the pact.
No, you had your choice.
Yeah.
They don't care.
So you could be a pirate without signing the pact.
Yeah, but you didn't have the full protection of a pirate, you know.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
So the pirates didn't have your back in that case.
Yeah, didn't have your back.
Gotcha.
But anyway, all right. So, anyways, back to the story is that when I went back to after the investigation I did some digging up and I found an old newspaper article where, by the way, it was Spanish School that Scudmore said he had there. Scott said he had there, and it was Spanish School was found in a field in Biddeford Pool.
Really?
So we had, here was a thing that we were just doing a game.
Yep.
You know, all these things are games. I'm sorry. The Ouija board was invented as a game, and that's whatever. Anyways, so all the information we got kind of we could explain, and yet none of us knew any of this crap. And yet we were able to come up with some stuff that was really extremely interesting. So we have that part where, okay, let's say we're moving this thing. Okay, let's say we're moving the planet. But where the heck is the information coming from? That's the intriguing part for me. So there's no, just because someone moves a pendulum, someone moves a Ouija board, doesn't mean that the information you're getting is not coming from some source that you're unaware of, some paranormal source, if you want to say that, whether it's a ghost or whatever, wherever it's coming from, the greater consciousness or whatever. Yeah, the information is or imprinted in time. Who knows?
Sure.
We don't. That's the problem. So it's so intriguing.
But when you, in that instance where you come up with information that you didn't have, you weren't consciously or even subconsciously moving towards that information.
Exactly.
You didn't have it. Came externally.
We didn't have it.
Yeah.
So say we're still moving that stuff, right? We're still moving the planchette. Okay, even if we are, where is that information coming from?
Right.
That's the intriguing part. And that's why I study all this stuff, because there's so many questions. Every time you think you know the answers, and if you look through my entire career, you will see that there are a lot of things I thought in the beginning that have changed over the years.
This comes down to the whole consciousness thing and how this all works, because again, it
We
makes
don't know.
It makes perfect sense that spirit would reach you like it would on a Ouija board, where it'd come through your mind and interpret it into movement and stuff like that. And it makes much more sense than a spirit actually I know they do, but it makes more sense than a spirit actually physically moving something.
Yeah.
Or showing up. You know, it makes more sense that they'd be able to put an image in your brain, because that's the milieu they worked in. And, you know, our consciousness and spirit probably aren't all that different. We don't know what our consciousness is.
We don't even know what spirit is, tell you the truth. I mean, we always make that big leap that it's the consciousness. It's the essence of a dead person, a soul of a dead person, whatever you want to use. But what if it's just,
well, religion aside, soul is consciousness, isn't it?
Yeah, whatever. It's what you believe in. So as I said,
right.
Whether it's the essence or the soul of a person. The problem is, what if it's not? What if it's just like radio waves that we broadcast something? This show is being if it's broadcast over the air, it's going out there and it's bouncing off all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And what if that information is out there, just out there? It's forever out there, bouncing around in the universe, and all of a sudden we're able to tune in that particular information. Doesn't mean we're connecting with a ghost or a spirit or a soul. It could be just information we're connecting with. It could be the Akashic records. I mean, I love this stuff. It just drives me.
I love the Akashic records.
Yeah, I mean,
but that was my analogy to collective consciousness and the internet. It's like all this stuff is floating out there, and we're just tapping into it.
That's one of the theories. And then once again, that's just the theory too. It's no more valid than believing that you're speaking to a dead person. In other words, you very well could be speaking to a dead person as equally as much as connecting to some information in the invisible web or whatever it is that we're on. So it's intriguing as hell. And that's why I keep doing it. And I'll probably never solve the equations until I die. And hopefully I figure it out then.
So for whatever combination of reasons, is it more likely to have a paranormal experience around Halloween than other times?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No.
Even though our antenna might be up a little bit more.
It's nothing to do with the antenna. It's just there's no validity. Show me validity. Show me facts. Facts are good.
No, but you would agree that getting your antenna up is important to connecting to the paranormal.
Well, that's one of the theories. We don't know that for sure, right? There are some people that see ghosts in their house. They move in for the first time. They don't know what the hell's going on, right? And they're not looking for ghosts. They're not hearing for ghosts, but it just shows up. People's grandfather shows up out of nowhere. And when they died, and all of a sudden they're at the side of your bed. You know, my mom, after my father died, my father showed up in her bedroom at night. There are other places where people have gone, lived in a house, and all of a sudden there's something there. We don't know what all this is, and if our antennas have anything to do with it. It's just at that particular time and space, or that we're able to connect whatever. Or see, I can't even explain it sometimes.
Well, there's very little to grasp onto in terms of how we deal with things.
You look at my experience at Wood Island again, not the Scudmore one, but another one. I mean, it's simple morning, I'm having coffee in the lighthouse, and all of a sudden I see a dog. Okay, now I'm not thinking ghost. I'm not thinking anything. I'm having coffee in the morning. I don't think of anything in the morning. Trust me. And I see this dog that turns out to be this. Well, I can't say for sure, but appears to be the same dog that had died on the island that I had never known about and never seen before. But I saw a photograph, and it sure looked like the one I saw. But that's, I mean, all my experiences in my true most. In seeing apparition that I believe I saw an apparition is when I wasn't looking for them. It was just a normal day part of life. And I think most people's experiences are just that way. It's just show up in a normal point of life. And that could be for like a million reasons. And once again, it's all theories, whether that particular spirit wanted something, whether it's a message that goes where they come back to give you a message or let you know they're okay or whatever. We don't know why, or it's a time slip, or we don't know. It makes me cry. And I don't think we ever will, tell you the truth. I really don't. Unless we have, the only proof that we really have, if we had something, a spirit, or they could just sit down and talk to us and say, okay, this is what it's like, and actually be seen by more than one person.
Yeah.
Okay. And I heard you mention that in the other show, and I absolutely agree with you. Yeah. The more it's seen, but even that doesn't prove anything, because you have mass hysteria, which has been seen in the past. I mean, I remember watching this show back before they had all these real life ghost hunters running around. They used to do documentaries. Do you remember documentaries? Yeah. And they were some of them, they would get the stories and recreate it. And then but I remember seeing this one in a cemetery. I forget, it's out in the Midwest. The mayor of the town was actually, because it was supposedly this woman who had hung herself by a tree, and there was a whole pile of people there, right? And they went out and to see if they could see her, and then all of a sudden, they saw her. Somebody said, "Oh, look over there! What's that?" And everybody saw the spirit.
Yeah,
everybody except the cameraman and a couple other people that were working on the show. They didn't see anything. They looked at the footage; there was nothing there.
Yeah,
and the camera looking through the lens saw nothing, and the assistant crew and everything else saw nothing. But yet all these people would swear on a stack of Bibles that they saw that ghost. Now, were they all attuned to it? Hey, could be. I don't know. But, why?
The mind is very powerful.
That's exactly.
In creating stimulus.
We know that mass hysteria exists.
Yeah.
That's one of the theories for the, excuse me, doing too much talking today, Lou.
Man-made global warming, mass hysteria.
The famous dancing disease. That was one of the beliefs of that was mass hysteria.
I remember that story, yeah.
Yeah, where people dance themselves to death. No comment.
Devil.
The devil made me do it.
Yeah.
We should take a break because my voice needs a break. I know it's kind of late in the show, but
it's all right.
Can we? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We don't have that much time. Take us back.
Take us back?
We're here.
All right. Let's not ride.
Let's not ride. I didn't realize it was that late, but
It's all right.
that's probably why my voice is going.
Yeah.
Anyway, drank all my coffee, so I'm dying. So, anyways, that's what I thought about that. But I do want to, and we talk about this year. We talk about hauntings, and you look at cemeteries, right, and lighthouses, of course, and haunted houses, and what other? When you say hair hauntings, what do you think of?
Almost every building in New England, actually.
No.
They're all over the place.
Restaurants, houses.
Restaurants.
Yeah. Okay. You don't think
We're
really
just talking about the old 10 Center Street in Newburyport.
Yeah.
And while we were dining there, we were reading some of the stories about it. And
what's this place?
Some of the haunting. It used to be called 10 Center Street. It's now Brick and Ash. It's a restaurant. It's one of the oldest buildings in Newburyport.
Really?
Yeah. And it's the typical ghost stories. It used to be a brothel, and
of course,
yeah,
all the Seatown, all the Seaport.
Yeah, and a woman
towers.
got pushed down the stairs, Lucinda, and broke her neck, and now she haunts the place. And there's a sea captain that shows up every now and again. But I remember these stories going back, when I was young. When at 10 Center Street, that restaurant used to be the big date restaurant. But yeah, again, one of the older places and haunted, and it's almost hard to. When I think hauntings, it's like I said, every other door here in revolutionary New England has a haunting or two.
But we think of like a history. Would you think about a water treatment plant?
No.
So that's what I mean. This is a story. One El Paso water employee is sharing stories of spooky encounters during the graveyard shift.
Yeah.
At one of the oldest locations. Let's see. Superintendent Ruben Montes was a guest on some podcasts. And he shared what he had seen and felt during his time at the Robinson-Ubenhauer water treatment plant, also called the Canal Plant, several years ago. Mm-hmm. And he talks about different stories. Now, I thought this was interesting because we never think about other places that were haunted.
Yeah, got about a couple minutes.
Yeah, but I know my son works in the water treatment plants, and he's heard, had experiences, and he also has a friend who's an engineer at another water treatment plant, and he definitely believes there's some spooky stuff going on at that one too. And this, we're talking people with, upper degrees and
so is this
college.
An area where water is moving that creates energy attracts spirit? Yeah.
You think it would go to a river instead of a treatment plant? I don't know if I want to go with a bunch of.
No. Well, now you're into my shtick, which is psychology of spirit. Why would you go there?
Yeah, exactly.
You can go anywhere in space and time. You're going to go to a water treatment plant.
Yeah, let's haunt the pooper plant. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I don't know. I mean, the interesting thing is there's so much. That's it, huh?
That's it.
Okay. So, ghosts can occur anyway, I guess what I'm saying. And maybe I'll get some more information on some of this. Why would they treat water treatment plant? I don't know.
Look for the Facebook page, Your Daily Game Face. Ron will be